The Elves and the Shoemaker. I can't go on, sighed the old shoemaker in despair one evening. We have no money. He was an honest old man who made beautiful shoes slowly and carefully, but his business was being ruined by the cobbler next door. This man sold hundreds of pairs of cheap shoes, and the shoemaker's customers all went to the new cobbler. What shall we do? Wept the shoemaker's wife. You only have enough leather to make one last pair of shoes. I'll cut them out tonight and make them tomorrow, said the shoemaker, and he climbed the stairs to bed with a heavy heart. The next morning, a perfect pair of shoes, complete with shiny buckles, stood on his workshop bench. Every stitch was exquisite. Look, wife, squealed the shoemaker in amazement, putting them in the window. Instantly, a customer snapped them up. He paid so much that the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather for 2 more pairs of shoes. Again, he cut them out, planned to finish them the following morning. And again, the magic happened. 2 pairs of shoes appeared, with bows, laces, and even pink heels. They were elegant, unique, and exceptionally well made. How is this happening? Wondered the shoemaker. Every day, as he bought more leather, he found more wonderful shoes in the morning. Soon he was rich again. His customers flocked back, fed up with the new cobbler's cheap shoes that let in the rain and fell to pieces after being worn once. The cobbler, furious, left town. The shoemaker could hardly believe his good fortune. We must stay awake and see who's helping us, he said to his wife. That night they hid in a corner of the workshop behind some coats and waited. Midnight, 2 elves clad in rags darted in. They began to cut and hammer and pierce and stitch the leather so skillfully and nimbly with their little fingers that the shoemaker gasped with astonishment. Those little men had made us wealthy, and we must show them how grateful we are, whispered his wife. Their clothes are ragged. They must be freezing with cold. I'll make them shirts and warm coats, fancy waistcoats and breeches, and knit them each a pair of socks. You can make them shoes. The shoemaker and his wife spent all the next day making the tiny outfits and left them laid out on the workshop bench instead of the pieces of leather. Then they hid again behind the coats to wait for the elves. As midnight struck, the elves arrived, saw the clothes, and danced and quickly dressed themselves. They danced and skipped all over the workshop, singing in delight. Now we are so fine to see, no more will we be shoemakers. And they ran out of the shop, never to return. Even without the elves, the shoemaker's business grew. He became famous throughout the land because his shoes were the most sensational and magnificent ever seen, and he and his wife prospered to the end of their days.